I'm very pleased to be able to have you join my deputy leader, Adrian Carr, and me for a new era of the Green. Some people have speculated that for some reason we'd lost touch with our principles and our senses, and we're about to embark on attacking other people, other politicians, or other parties. That's not the Green Party way. Back in November, I held a press conference in this room on the day of the congressional by-elections in the United States to call on Canadian political leaders to turn their back on the kind of negative attack ads that have so poisoned the well of democracy south of the border. We warned that we were afraid that this next election campaign would be dirtier than the previous ones, and that Canadians would be deliberately driven away from the polls. The tactics that the U.S. Republicans call voter suppression thrive on this kind of cynical ploy of so discouraging people from voting by turning them off politics altogether. We urged political parties and the other leaders to say no to attack. Since then, sadly, Canadians have been, I say, the victim of even more disgusting negative attack ads than we've ever seen outside of a writ period before an election begins. So in response to this, since we appealed to other political leaders and they didn't listen, today we appeal to Canadians, and we will be buying time on major networks to have our own attack ad. And I will now ask Deborah to premiere for you our attack ad on attack ads.
Tired of the name-calling, smear campaigns, mudslinging? Are you disgusted with the state of Canadian politics? This does not represent our Canada. It doesn't have to be like this. It's time to send a message and change the channel on attack politics. The Green Party of Canada. It's time.
Fatigué des insultes, les campagnes de diffamation, de dénigrement? Êtes-vous dégoûté par l'état actuel de la politique canadienne? Ça, ce n'est pas notre Canada. Pas besoin de tolérer tout ça. Il est temps d'envoyer un message et de zapper les attaques politiques. Le Parti vert du Canada, c'est l'heure.
Alors, la négativité sur la scène politique canadienne a pris des proportions incontrôlables. On doit aujourd'hui dire non aux politiques négatives, aux publicités négatives, en intérêt de la démocratie lui-même. Today we have launched this. As you can see, it's somewhat spoof. I hope you appreciate the militaristic drum roll, the threatening, ominous male voiceover. I hope you see in that our sense of humor, and that we want to change the channel on attack ads. How will we do this? We're calling on Canadians to take this up through social media, through other means, through things that we'll be doing, because as I mentioned back in November when we first launched our efforts to end attack ad politics in Canada, in other countries they have found solutions. In England, in the UK, in France, in Israel, in Belgium, in Brazil, there's a longer list of countries where it is simply not allowed for political parties to buy television advertising time. Instead, the networks are required to provide free ads, free time on television to present their views. And what's about attack ads is that someone like Stephen Harper or Michael Ignatieff or Jack Layton, they do not themselves, through their own voice, attack others through attack ads. They use proxies, anonymous voiceovers, narrators. If we changed the system to clean up our airwaves so that Canadians were not subjected to this kind of exploitive, cynical, anti-democratic process, political parties would be putting forward what they stand for, which is what we'll always do, what we believe in, the better world, the vision for a better society. And we start by cleaning up politics by taking direct aim at attack ads. And Adrian Carr is going to add a bit about what we propose to do in the next few weeks.
Thanks, Elizabeth, and thanks all for being here. I think we should really realize the context we're operating in. At the same time in our world, that people, and youth especially, are fighting for democracy. In places like Egypt, Libya, Canadians are losing interest. They are disengaging. They are not turning out to vote. And the Green Party is launching an attack on attack ads because we believe that this is part of the problem in Canada with democracy. The way to reach these people, the way to reach youth in particular, is through social media. So at the same time as we're launching our attack ad today, we are launching a social media campaign to engage Canadians, to say, no, this is not the democracy we want. We don't want to have to watch attack ads during the Super Bowl game. We would like to have a positive politic in this country and engage once again with pride in our democracy. So we are calling on Canadians today to go to the Green Party of Canada website. On the front page, in the banner headline, will be a downloadable version ad on TAC ads. They can click on that and post it through their Facebook site, through Twitter, to get it out to their friends, their connections, everyone. They can go to YouTube itself and go to search for attack ad on attack ads, and they can then click it again and be able to send it out through all of the social media network that they have available to them. We're asking them to post it to friends, to post it to politicians' pages, to post it to the leaders of political parties with the message that this is not the Canada they want. This is not the kind of Canadian politics that they want. Our message to the people of Canada is also this. They've got the power. We have seen Canadian people turn around politics in this country, and I will remind you and remind them. In the last election, when Mr. Harper and Mr. Layton said that they would not participate in the televised leaders' debates if Elizabeth May, the leader of the Green Party, participated, Canadians reacted. They got on the social networks. They posted their comments online at the newspaper sites and the radio sites. They called in, they created the social movement and reaction to that caused a change in decisions. First with Jack Layton, then with Mr. Harper, and ultimately a change decision to include Elizabeth May. People do have the power in this country, and we are trusting that they're going to come out on this one. Thank you.
Maintenant, un petit résumé en français, parce que pour le Parti vert, c'est un voie un peu différent d'avoir les publicités sur les publicités négatives. Nous sommes absolument contre, c'est une question de principe, que les publicités négatives sont une menace à la démocratie du Canada. C'est nécessaire d'avoir une approche différente parce que les chefs des autres partis, dans les derniers mois, ont choisi les publicités négatives. Et en ce moment, on doit, pour le Parti vert, nous pensons que c'est nécessaire pour tout le monde pour dire non sur les publicités négatives, pour faire les changements dans notre système des langues canadiennes en avance les prochaines élections fédérales. Now's the time before we're in an election. We don't know when it will be, but we can see that it's shaping up to be pretty nasty. It's not in the interest of Canadians to see a nasty election. It's not in the interest of our democracy. And declining voter turnout can be directly linked to the increased use of these kinds of negative, manipulative, cynical attack politics. It's time to change the channel. It's time to change the channel on attack ads, change the channel on attack politics. And the Green Party didn't get this far in terms of being the choice of 1 in 10 Canadians in order to get in the ring and play nasty with the big boys. We have to change the game. Thank you.